CH.4. The truth behind Brietta. Annika sighed as she looked at herself in the mirror as she smoothed out the long purple dress that the Cloud Queen had given her. Annika was standing on a marble floor of a castle in the skies called Cloud Kingdom. A Pegasus named Brietta had brought her here after the unfortunate arrival of a wizard. She thought she remembered the whole thing. "Who are you?" she asked the wizard. "Come on, you're not serious," he said. "Sorry to burst your bubble. Beautiful and feisty, loving it." Then he bowed and identified himself as Wenlock. Then he said as he pulled out a ring box that he's going to marry her. That's when her father shouted, "No! Let her be." Annika had seen the terrified look on his face. Well, what's it been?" Wenlock had asked. 16, 17 years? That's when she realized her father knew Wenlock somehow. That's when the Queen also came up and tried and help get Wenlock to leave. Please spare her." Annika had also seen the terrified look on her face. That's when Wenlock said something that made no sense to her, just like Ain's disappearance. "Are you telling me what to do, or did you forget what happened to your other daughter?" Annika was still puzzled. She didn't have a sister, did she? The king or the queen didn't reply to Annika's question. The king had told Wenlock to go because he already had a wife. Wenlock said he had seen Annika was next. "I don't think so," she said bravely. That's when the king and Wenlock turned the queen and king to stay along with everyone else. Luckily, that's when Brietta came and brought her here. Annika blinked away a few tears. Wenlock said if she didn't marry him in 3 days, that they'd stay like that. Forever. None of this would have happened if I just stayed in my room. She shook her head. But no, Annika had to go to the party, everyone in danger. "Are you all right?" a voice asked. Annika turned to see Rayla, the Cloud Queen. She had wavy brown hair and a blue dress. "I have to go back on my parents. I know," Rayla said gently. "But even if you did, all you would see was your frozen kingdom, and you'd be paralyzed. You can't help anyone there." Annika gazed at the floor. "There has to be a way." "Come with me," Rayla said kindly. Annika followed her out to a room where the 3 little girls that she met were. 2 of them were putting clips on Brietta's mane, and the one lying on a nearby bed chatted with the Pegasus. "I'm sorry Wenlock came back," the little girl named Cloud Princess Lilac said. She had blonde hair and a purple dress. Annika watched curiously as Brietta gazed at the floor. Did Brietta know Wenlock somehow too? Another little girl turned to them. Her name was Cloud Princess Blush. "Are you warmer now?" she asked. She had golden hair and a yellow dress. Annika smiled and nodded. "Very much, thank you." She turned to her, "And thank you for the beautiful dress." Rayla laughed slightly. "You're welcome." "We've never had a real person here before," Blush said. Then she goes, "Except for your sister, of course." Annika's eyes widened and looked at Blush confused. "My sister? Who was this other daughter everyone was now telling her about?" Blush nodded and glanced over at the Pegasus. Brietta is, of course." Annika looked at Brietta for what felt like a lifetime. "Brietta? You are my sister?" Brietta looked away. Yes, Annika could hardly believe this. "But how? What happened?" Brietta gazed at the floor. "It was Brietta's birthday too," said Rayla, stepping forward. Wenlock appeared out of the blue and demanded Brietta to marry him. When your father refused, Wenlock turned her into a Pegasus. Your parents tried everything to break the spell, but they couldn't. Brietta couldn't bear to see them so unhappy. So she left, and found refuge with us, here in Cloud Kingdom." Brietta sighed to herself as she remembered that day. She was about to open a present from her parents when they heard a shriek and turned to see Wenlock. "State your business, sir," her father demanded. Wenlock said I was here to marry her. Her father told him that was ridiculous and to go. Wenlock asked, "Are you telling me what to do?" Her father called for the guards. Wenlock used his wand to turn the guards to stone and then turned Brietta into a Pegasus. A few nights later, Brietta watched in despair as she saw the sadness in her parents' faces and decided to leave. That's when she eventually found Cloud Kingdom. Annika shook her head confused. But why didn't Mother and Father tell me? My own sister! I guess they didn't know how, Brianna replied simply. Why didn't everyone else tell me? They kept it secret. When you were born, Mother and Father moved to the farthest corner in the kingdom and built a new, stronger castle. They were terrified Wenlock would come after you. And he did. Annika felt a lump in her throat as she realized what that meant. So that's why they were always so worried. I have to save them. Tell them I'm sorry. She turned to Rayla. Can you help me? Rayla shook her head sadly. I'm sorry, but I have no powers over Wenlocks. Annika grumbled in frustration. Oh, there has to be something I can do. But I cannot talk. Inside, without any background noise, just then the little girl with brown hair and a pink dress named Cloud Princess Rose spoke up. What about a wand of light? Blush gasped and put her finger to her lips. Shh! You know Brianna doesn't like to talk about it. Lilac said around a yawn. Annika glanced at Brianna. A wand of light? She asked. Brianna shook her head. It's nothing. It's just a myth. Annika wanted to know the truth. Please, Brianna, she begged. Tell me, please. Brianna returned her gaze to the floor. Annika sighed to herself. She's about as stubborn as I am, she thought. Wonder which parent we got that from. Father. Rayla stepped forward again. A wand of light has the most powerful magic of all, she explained. Even more powerful than Wenlock's. Annika smiled. Was there hope? That's great. Where do we find it? It isn't found. It's built, Rayla said. How? From a measure of courage, a ring of love, and a gem of ice lit by hope's eternal flame. Annika nodded. That's only 3 things. We can do it. Brianna shook her head again. It doesn't exist. Then she sighed. I've tried for years. It's hopeless. Annika shook her head. It's only hopeless if you give up. She remembered what her friend had said while she was learning Dyson. Just keep trying and remember, don't ever give up. Come on, Brianna, Annika encouraged. We can do it together. Suddenly a bell started chiming overhead. Rose stepped down from her stool that she was on and turned to the other Cloud Princesses. Come on, come on, come on! Lilac sighed. Is it time already? Annika turned to Rayla. Time for what? Brianna yelled. Come on! You have got to see this. Annika looked at her sister confused, but followed her as the Cloud Princesses got up onto the Pegasus, and each girl had a small paintbrush-like wand in her hand as they flew out the open door. Annika watched in amazement as the Cloud Princesses painted the sunrise. Whoa, is this how it's done? She asked. Brianna nodded. They do this every sunset and sunrise. Amazing, Annika said, waving to the Cloud Princesses as they went on ahead to paint the sunrise. Annika put a hand on her sister. I'm going to build a wand of light, Brianna, she declared, somehow. Brianna simply lowered her head and turned around and walked back inside. Annika followed. That girl really has lost hope, she thought. Annika found Brianna looking at herself in a mirror and watched as her reflection sparkled and changed, revealing her with long auburn hair, much like Annika's father. Sometimes I forget who I used to be, Brianna sighed, and then looked up at her crown that had 3 stars on it. Then my crown reminds me of falling one's hand. Annika smiled. And we'll have again, she said. Come with me, Brianna, but it won't work. We can do it! I know we can! Brianna was still doubtful. Well, Annika was about to let Brianna give in again. Great! Where do we start? Brianna sighed. The deepest, darkest part of the Forbidden Forest. Annika smiled. Then let's not waste another moment. Deep in the heart of the Forbidden Forest, a young man who was bent over a fire smiled as he put the finishing touches on his new sword. Perfect, he said, cautiously waving it around. Suddenly he heard something. He peered out from where he was. He saw a purple Pegasus eye. A polar bear cub. Moron, even moron, a familiar young girl. I've seen enough. What about you? The Pegasus said. Keep your eyes open. Don't miss a thing, he heard the girl say. Aiden's eyes wide. Sheesh. Annika? What are we looking for? Brianna asked. We'll know it when we see it. Aang put out his fire and put his sword in its sheath and then took a few steps. What is she doing here, he wondered. The polar bear cub always could sense he was there. Don't worry, Annika said, trying to calm the pup. Probably just the wind. However, as Aang took a few more steps, the cub got spooked and forgot to watch where it's going. Aang groaned as it laid down the ice gully. No, Shiver, wait, Annika called suddenly. Hey, she exclaimed. Aang's lips curled into a smile as he burst with laughter as he watched Annika and the Pegasus each swung from a tree branch as they were pulled up to them by some nets. Annika, bleh, Aang heard his voice its disapproval of his master's laughing at the girl he grew up with. Have it your way, Aang said as he went over and climbed up onto it. Besides, I'm pretty sure they won't help getting down anyway. Still, Aang found it pretty funny to seeing Annika struggle in the nets. Well, that's the end of this chapter, and what in the world is Aang doing in the Forbidden Forest? Stay tuned, and we should hopefully be starting to get to the bottom of things. Comment, like, subscribe.